What's up, movie nerds? Sai here to give you my review of the DCEU's latest offering, The Aquaman. But did it sink or swim? Find out after this. The last time we saw Arthur Curry, he was surfing the skies on the back of parademons, helping the Justice League defeat Steppenwolf in a movie that had a lot to answer for. But now Aquaman's got his own solo show, there'd be nothing to indicate whether this was a prequel or a sequel if it wasn't for the fact that a familiar face in Mera, played by Amber Heard, shows up unannounced to warn Aquaman that his half-brother Orm, played by Patrick Wilson, is set to wage war on the surface world. And the only way to stop him is for Aquaman to take up his rightful heritage as the King of Atlantis. Of course, Orm isn't going to give up the throne that easily, and Aquaman gets himself a bit of an ass kicking for his trouble.
That was the worst pep talk ever.
And in terms of plot, that's pretty much it, but that's not why people are going to watch Aquaman. For director James Wan, who's made famous for the Conjuring universe, this is his first ever superhero movie, and he does not hold back. This is a gratuitous, unapologetic, no-holds-barred superhero movie. Its basic plot could be considered as done and predictable, but is filled with so many side plots and characters to make up for it. Were it not for its origin elements, Aquaman could be considered as a forbidden love tale with the story of his mother and father, Atlanta and Tom, played by Nicole Kidman and Tamora Morrison. This could be considered a coming-of-age tale, with Aquaman defying his own stubbornness and accepting who he is.
I'm no leader. I came because I have no choice. I came to save my home and the people that I love.
It could be a quest movie, as Aquaman and Mera set out to find the lost trident of Atlan to prove that he is the one true king. It could even be a war movie with some of the most exciting and insane underwater battle scenes that I've ever seen. And that's exactly what Aquaman is, jam-packed and fully loaded with so many characters and things going on. In fact, there's so much going on that one of the story's most significant characters, Black Manta, barely gets the screen time he deserves. In fact, there was probably so much material for Black Manta that we could have seen him in a sequel. But the focus was so heavily on Orm, or Ocean Master, that Black Manta felt shoehorned into the story. There are several films which could be cited as influences for Aquaman. Star Wars, Phantom Menace in particular, Tron, Avatar. But kudos to James Wan, who does an incredible job of creating the underwater world of Atlantis. This film looks incredible, far superior to any DC movie released before. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Wan referenced movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark and Romancing the Stone as influences for the relationship between Aquaman and Mera, but in all honesty, the chemistry is somewhat lacking, and 90% of the jokes tend to fall flat on their arse.
I could have just peed on it.
And it's not the most interesting part of the film. It tends to take you away from everything else that is going on in this movie. And as for the man himself, Jason Momoa looks like he's having the time of his life playing Aquaman. Every now and again in an actor's career, there's a role that comes along that which you're meant to play. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow, and I believe that Jason Momoa has found his calling in Aquaman. Were it not for Zack Snyder's vision of the man who could talk to fish, then we could have had a completely different movie. Who knew all you needed was perfect abs, a pirate beard, and a bad attitude? But the first 10 minutes of Aquaman set the tone for the rest of the film when Jason Momoa looks directly down at the camera and says,
Permission to come aboard.
and for me it's a tone that's been severely lacking in the DC franchise. However you feel about Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, which weren't necessarily bad movies, Aquaman gives the people what it wants and does not hold back. This is a completely bonkers superhero movie and you're gonna love it. With so much speculation over the future of the DC franchise, I can pretty much guarantee that we're gonna see the man who could talk to fish and his fishy friends again. Until next time, I'll see you nerds at the movies.